Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a trying new makeup. So many new products to try. I recently did a haul if you missed it, but I will link that down below. Give this video a thumbs up and hype it if you're excited about these new launches. And let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so I've got you zoomed in and I did apply my NYX lip liner stain. This is in the shade Cuff Me. I've really been liking this just for kind of a base under makeup. I find that I like to use these liner stains just when I'm wearing less makeup. It makes me feel a little bit more put together, or as a base, because once I apply everything else, I feel like as my makeup wears throughout the day, I still have a stain left. So I've been liking this, especially for a drugstore option. I did also want to swatch these on the lips. I did haul these YSL holiday launches. They are so beautiful. So I thought we could start out with the Candy Glaze. So this is the holiday color, super beautiful, kind of like a shimmery pink shade, but it looks so gorgeous. So I thought that we could apply this. Oh yeah, it has a really beautiful shine to it, but it's not too gaudy or chunky glitter. I don't feel any grit, but you can see it has a really beautiful like pink diamond sort of look. This is so beautiful. And I know that people love the Candy Glaze. I mean, I think this formula is absolutely stunning. I did also want to swatch on the lips this YSL lip oil, again, from their holiday collection. Love, love, love the packaging. And this is a really pretty, shiny, kind of opal, iridescent lip oil. Now these do have some sort of plumping effect. I don't believe the Candy Glaze does, but the lip oils do. Not something that I look for, but it doesn't hurt. I don't like when they're like super painful. I can't handle that. But this one I find is kind of middle of the road. So I'm just gonna wipe this off and then go in. Oh yeah, it's so pretty. I tried it on top of my lip combo in my haul video. Is that a Winnie hair? I feel like I have a Winnie hair. Sure is. It wouldn't be a Babs video without a Winnie hair. But I did put this on in my haul video on top of lipstick, which is how I would normally wear it. But I wanted to show you if you wanted to see what it looks like. I love that this actually has some pigment to it. It gives such a pretty, kind of like milky, iridescent, glittery glow. Highly, highly recommend this if you like that look. So next I want to start in on an eye look, and I wanted to use these brushes that were sent to me from BabsBeauty. So this is the Volume 2 collaboration with Nikki LaRose, and I watch her channel. She's so beautiful. She's a makeup artist. I don't know if I tried her original brushes too in depth. I wasn't really familiar with her then, but since I've been subscribed, I watch her videos and I'm excited to give these a try. I do believe that these sold out, but I think they're going to restock. So it looks like we have 4 eye brushes and then we have 4 face brushes. So I did watch her video, but you know, don't quote me because I watch a lot of content. I'll just use the brushes how I would personally use them because I want to see how they would work just for like an everyday consumer. I don't think that you should have to use a brush a certain way. So here are the eye brushes. Now these are detail brushes, so I will use them for the detail work. It looks like you have some really nice shapes for like smoking out eyeliner or applying shadow if you want like a sharp line, cleaning up. And then we also have 4 face brushes. I'm most excited about this slanted one. I think she said it was supposed to be in place of a puff, so I am interested in that. And then we do have kind of like multitasking brushes. This one looks like it's going to be really pretty for blush. And then this one I typically wouldn't use, but I'm going to attempt it today and we'll see what we think. So let's start out on an eye look, and I have the new Patrick Ta Essential Artistry Edit palettes. So we have the light and the medium. So this is the light, and this one I would wear pretty much every day if I want something super subtle. And then we also have the medium, which is a little bit warmer and of course more rich overall. So I want to play around with those. And then I also have the duos, so the toppers, and I did pick up 2 shades. This one is Always on Your Mind, and then I also picked up In Your Dreams. So I did swatch these and talk a little bit more about them in my haul video, but I do have to be mindful with how I'm gonna mix everything because I do wanna incorporate this palette, and I think it's probably just gonna look off, but we're just gonna do what we can because a lot of you guys were asking me about that. So I'm gonna start out with the light palette from Patrick Ta. I think I am going to initially just dip into this color right here. And when you dip into these, they are quite powdery, but I find that these are very, very easy to blend. So I'm actually going to apply this to the lid. My lips are definitely tingling. You can see how much more plump and red they are. Staying in the light palette, I'm gonna go into this shade down here, and I'm gonna try this N22, and I wanna use this to kind of start adding some dimension on the outer edge here. So I'm kind of flicking it out, I guess like a wing, and then taking that initial brush to blend. Staying in the light palette, I'm going to jump to this shade right here, and I'm going to try to apply a little bit of this almost like above my crease and up into my brow bone. It doesn't have to be like super precise because this is a lighter shade, and I am planning on going in with some really intense shimmers. Jumping into the medium palette, I'm gonna start out with this color down here, and I wanna use the N21. I just wanna see how this translates on the eye. So just sweeping underneath, and then going back in and just kind of softening. I'm gonna add a little bit. This is really nice for like detail smoking of liner. And dipping back into the light palette, I'm gonna take that shade, and I want to just deepen this up a little bit right here. Freaking NASCAR Teddy is outside. I thought we moved away from him. And then going back into that medium palette and using that N21, going in with the deepest color. And then just sort of cleaning up. But we'll have fallout, so just trying to see the shape here. So I think I'm going to leave the mattes there for now. I will do some final blending and touches once we go in with the shimmer shadow duos. Before that, I did want to thank MIDI for sponsoring this portion of today's video. As I get older especially, I have to advocate for my health more than ever. Just being a woman that is in her late 30s, we often aren't heard or can't find the care we need from our primary care physicians. So that's where MIDI bridges the gap, in my opinion. So MIDI Health is a virtual care clinic that provides compassionate, high quality medical care to women of all ages. So in the privacy of your own home, virtual visits, which makes it so convenient, and they're not rushed, which is another thing that I've noticed. You get time to discuss your issues and your symptoms, and MIDI is accepted by major insurance plans in all 50 states. So MIDI's Age Well service treats a variety of health concerns for women of all ages, including perimenopause, menopause, cognitive and inflammation screening, cardiovascular and metabolic support, including GLP-1 medications, and treatment can include medications, supplements, lifestyle changes, and further testing. In a recent survey, 77% of women said that they want to take a proactive proactive approach to aging, myself included, and that does not mean just outwardly. I'm talking about inside and dealing with all of the changes that we do as women, especially as we get older. And because everything is done virtually, it could not be easier. So you book your visit with your clinician and then you discuss your symptoms and concerns. If you do need further testing, MIDI will organize it close to you so it is convenient, as well as set up any follow-up visits and preventative care for the future. I absolutely love my clinician. She actually cracks me up. We have like a rapport now, and most of the time, actually every time, I have no makeup on when I'm doing my visits with her because I really trust her and she really listens to what I'm saying and gives me ideas and just approaches that we could take. And recently I have just been going through a lot of changes health-wise. My sleep is not great. My period has become irregular, itching on the inside of my ear, like all the way in. I never had any of these issues. So I did, after some hesitation, start HRT, and I'm really excited about it because I already noticed immediately that my sleep is tenfold. It is so much better. I struggle because I do also have cervical dystonia, which is a muscle disease. So my neck hurts a lot of the time, and I do get treated with Botox and medically treated because my neck spasms and all the way down my back and up my jaw, the whole 9 yards. But my sleep really has become even more difficult than ever. But immediately when I started HRT, I was sleeping like a rock, and that is honestly a godsend because I am always tired and I just cannot get myself to relax and get comfortable. So I immediately noticed a difference. I do have a follow-up visit in, I think, a month from starting it, but I'm about 2.5 weeks in now. So I've had such a great experience, and I would highly recommend checking them out if you're looking for compassionate care that's convenient and covered by insurance. So I will leave a link at the top of my description box if you want to check out MIDI. They also did come out with supplements. So these are created by women for women with science-backed evidence, but I struggle, and I know a lot of you probably do too, with fiber in your diet. This is 5 grams of fiber, 0 grams of sugar, and you just take 2 gummies a day. I like that they're gummies too because they taste good and I don't have to have a drink nearby. So if I forget, I can just grab them on the go. So I've been using these. This is my second bag of these. So they're just a great, easy way to get some fiber in and, you know, keep things moving, if you will. So if you want to get 15% off your first supplement purchase, I will have a code down below and on the screen, and that is BABS. So definitely check them out. Just cannot rave about them enough. You just will not be disappointed. So all of the links will be down below, and let's go ahead and get into the rest of this Trying New Makeup. Okay, so now that we have the matte shadows blended, I'm gonna go in with In Your Dreams, which is the lighter duo. I just think this would look better with the Dior palette, and I wanna try to make this look somewhat cohesive. So I'm gonna start out with the lighter shade here. Not the lighter, the more sheer shade. I'll swatch these for you, but the bottom shade has more of a translucency than the top shade. So this is the one I'm gonna start out with, and then this is the kind of more intense shade. So I'm gonna start with that, and I am gonna use my finger, and this is on a dry, like powdered lid. So this is just a soft, kind of scattered look. I do get fallout, which again is why I would do my eyes first. So this is what it looks like if I were to just kind of scatter it, which, to be honest, I like that look. I usually don't do intense, you know, chunky glitter on the eye. I actually like how this has that like scattered look, but I want to go in next with the lighter shade, and I want to really amp this up. So I'm gonna pat more heavily lower. I mean, it is really beautiful. I would say that if I were to wear this like all night and I really wanted longevity, I would use a glitter glue or something just to grab on, because the fallout otherwise I could see being a little bit much. So I want to just dip back in to the medium palette into that darkest shade, and I just want to kind of go over right at the lash line on the outer edge. And then I can also just take that blending brush just to kind of soften a little bit around. And just because I'm curious, I am gonna take a little bit of the NYX glitter glue. I just wanna see what this does. I'm gonna take the N23 brush and I just wanna pat very lightly right in the center of the lid and then go back into the light shade here. Just so we can kind of see if it makes a difference and give you options. I would say it does grab on and make it more intense. So if fallout bothers you, I would say a glitter glue definitely could come in handy. It kind of makes it more, I would say, okay, that side looks more intense. What did we do here? Did we not put as much? Let me match that up. I don't know if I put as much glitter glue on this side because this is reading more like foiled. So I went ahead and applied mascara. I'm gonna let my lashes sort of set and then try to recurl them. And I did wipe away as much fallout as I possibly could, but I wanna prep the skin. So I'm gonna use my Bioma Milky Toner. This is just holy grail status. It's very, very lightweight and thin, and I don't know what sorcery is in this. It just lays so well under makeup. And for even more added hydration, I have to rave about this product because I am truly blown away by this. I purchased my own bottle of this and then I did receive it in PR unexpectedly, which I'm so happy about because I have one on my desk and then one in my bedroom. This skincare product is truly phenomenal. This is the new BabsBeauty Signature Skin Dream Barrier Cream. Now the reason I wanted to try this is because this is owned by Ali Glines and she used to struggle with acne. So for me, being someone that has cystic acne and has struggled in the past, I thought that she would really give us a product that gave hydration but did not break me out. And that is so true. I cannot believe how much I love this. It is a true barrier cream in the sense that it has that almost like coating slip to it, but it's not greasy at all. It gives me so much hydration without that greasy, sticky feel. I have been so impressed with this. I've used it every single night before bed. So I got this maybe a week ago. And this is where we're at because I've been using it before bed and before makeup. Cannot recommend this enough if you need hydration, but you don't want fragrance, you don't want it to be sticky, you don't want it to cause breakouts, and the packaging is really, really nice. So I have found that this works so well under makeup. So I just take like 3 pumps and just spread all over the skin. I love that it has no scent to it and it's just so calming. It's so calming, but it like coats your skin. I don't know how else to describe it. It almost gives you like a smoothing effect as well. I have just fallen in love with this, like really, really impressed with it. It's replaced pretty much everything and my skin is just healing and calming down. So very, very happy with that. And then for foundation, I purchased this. I'm late to the game. I haven't really tried a ton of the tier products, but I wanted to try this Mask Fit Red Foundation. So I picked up the shade 24W Soft Beige. Now this one is supposed to be a luminous but full coverage with a long wear formula that has an ultra fine powder. It grips to the skin for up to 72 hours. Interesting. So I'm gonna go ahead and shake this up and I'm gonna pump out 2 pumps on the back of my hand. Okay, this is really warm. I'm actually gonna take a tiny bit of this pigment mixer from LA Girl. I wish that I would have gotten a cooler tone, but again, I'm not super familiar with tier as much. So maybe we'll just, I don't know, that seems pretty deep. Okay, I'm gonna add a full pump in of that mixer. Okay, I'm not sure we're gonna be able to, so I'll just have to pull it down my neck. So I'm just gonna use this BK Beauty 101. Okay, this shade, is this like super olive? That shade is like super warm. Okay, I'm just gonna try to pull this down the neck, but definitely not the right shade for me, it almost looks like it's leaning maybe olive. Okay, I'm trying to get my thoughts on this, but the shade is throwing me off. I don't have another foundation to try, so I just want to make it work, but this is very, very high coverage. I mean, I immediately agree with the full coverage. Do I look jaundiced? Do I look jaundiced? Can we remedy this? I'm hopeful that we maybe can, but I'm also terrified that we maybe can't. All right, so this is what the Tier foundation looks like applied. I cannot get over this shade. I don't know how to describe it. It's just not my shade, which I'm just kind of surprised that I was that off. But I'm gonna try to remedy with concealer and also powder. I think that it looks a little bit dry and matte. I mean, I could see that it says it has that powder in it. You know, my eyes are throwing me off because it's like pink and then olive green is what I feel like. But so I want to go in next, and let's hope that this helps with this shadow smooth blur contour from ABH. I don't really want to use anything like warm because I feel like we're already really warm and I want to like tone it down. And I'm going to use this N18 brush and just work off the actual product and start blending. I cannot believe how off this shade is. I mean, this brush really did a nice job diffusing it out. I usually wouldn't reach for a brush like this, but it has a nice like precision, but then you can kind of fan it to blend. For blush, I want to use one of these new Dior Forever Soft Filter blushes. I love these. I've used them on my lips as well. So I picked up Lily and Daisy, and I'm trying to decide what color to do today. I think I'm gonna go with Lily, which is the more pink one, just because I think it'll go with the other products that I have to try. So when you swatch this, it looks pretty like dry and chunky, but it blends into this really like soft, matte, beautiful, beautiful formula on the cheeks and the lips. So I'm gonna take a BK 109 and just dip into the product. I find that it's also like a good amount of pigment. It doesn't seem over the top to where it gets out of control, but it's not like too sheer to where it doesn't show up. It does have that luxury scent to it. That's the only thing I will say. I do notice it just when I apply it, and then on my lips, I notice it like initially, but I don't taste it, which that would be a deal breaker for me. But it just kind of gives you this like soft, blurred look. This foundation shade is frying me, but we're gonna soldier on. So this is the Dior blush. It's just a really pretty, kind of like bright pink shade. And then I don't have a new concealer, so I'm gonna use my Tower 28, and I'm hopefully gonna tone this down a little bit. And I think I'm also just going to add a little bit just to sort of remedy this color a little bit. And I am gonna try this SN20. I think she said this was like a multi-use brush. It's very, very soft. It has like a nice fluff to it. But I think because it's like duo fiber, you don't lose pigment. There is an angry fly, honestly, like crashing from wall to wall in here. And I've been trying to kill it for like 3 hours. So there's that. Every so often, I just hear like angry buzzing, and then it's like bam, bam, bam. Okay, so it actually does blend nicely. I would say this is a pretty unique brush to my collection because it has like these longer hairs. It's like they blend around the product, but they don't move it, which is pretty special. And to set the face, I'm gonna use this Melt She's Alive powder. They did bring this back permanently. It's so beautiful. It's very, very smoothing. And I wanna use this because it has more of like a peachy pink undertone. I'm hoping that that will calm down, I don't know, like the green, yellow undertone of this foundation. I'm also gonna use the N19. This is supposed to be like a powder puff is what Nikki had said. So I'm just gonna get creasing out and then I'm just gonna press. I mean, this brush is unique. I mean, it really does fit like right under there and then you can kind of turn it. That did an amazing job. So I can see why she was like raving about this brush. It has like just the right amount of like density. Applying powder is like so satisfying to me. Anyone else? All right, so I went ahead and finished my brows off camera, and then I added some of this Sochi Beauty eye brightener in cashmere. I really have been liking this in the waterline, but I wanted to try this Dior blush. So I purchased this from the holiday collection. They're the same colors as the Dior Backstage blushes, but they have a glow to them. So I got the Starry Pink, I think that's what it's called. So I'm gonna use the BK N20, and I just wanna try to apply this before we go into the Dior face palette. I just wanna see what kind of payoff this gives. Okay, it definitely has a glow to it. Wow, that's kind of unique. I mean, it definitely is shimmery. Do you see a cast? Maybe? It's hard for me to tell. Like, I'm just looking in my viewfinder. I don't know. I saw another shade, which is, I think, like a mauve-y pink, and that one looked really pretty. But I'm actually not hating it because I don't feel like it makes my texture look worse. That's interesting. I don't know. It swatches like really blah, but on the skin, I feel like it has a more intense impact. So now let's get into the Dior Backstage Opal Glow. Now this is the palette that I was waiting for. It wasn't showing up on any retailers and then finally it did, so I grabbed it. So I have swatched this and it looks like we have one glittery shade in here that's like really intense, but then we also have these other shades that just swatch a little bit chalky, maybe like these two, which I've seen before in iridescent kind of palettes. So I'm gonna start out with this pink shade and I'm just gonna use this right where I would normally apply highlighter. I mean, that shade is gorgeous. Which again, this one swatches to me the most like the original Universal palette. I don't feel like there's glitter and it's not falling all over. I wanna go in with this shade on the other side and just see. This isn't gonna be cohesive, but I just wanna see. Okay, I actually like these more on the skin than I did when I swatched them because swatching them, they just felt a little bit like dusty. But when you blend them into the skin, I mean, I feel like they give, I don't know, a really beautiful glow. This fly is trying it, okay? He's trying it. So I'm trying to decide what to do next. I just do not think that I'm gonna be able to do this shade. I already feel like I look wild. I'm gonna go in with the white shade and then I'll have to try that purpley kind of blue shade at another time. And I wanna just apply this on top. I mean, I feel like it was already pretty intense. That just kind of gives you a little bit of like glitter. Yeah, I don't love that because if you can see like this side of my face, there's glitter fallout, whereas this side is more clean and crisp. This side looks much more clean than this side with all of that like glitter specks everywhere. So it kind of seems like 2 of the shades out of here are safe and then 2 are more glittery. So I went ahead and put some lip liner on. This is the Nabla Nude number 5. And I want to finish off this look with the new Dior Liquid Sequin, or no, Dior Sequin Liquid Duo. So I picked up the shade 220, which I think is Ribbons. And the whole concept of this is you're supposed to be able to apply it, let it sit for a second, and then touch your lips together and it becomes glittery. And then there's a clear gloss on the other side. I guess a play on the Chanel. So I just want to apply this. It's very thin. And I think you're supposed to kind of let it sit. That shade is really pretty. I went ahead and zoomed you in. It does feel a little bit sticky, but I wanted to see just in terms of the longevity. Okay, so it seems like really just my lip liner transferred. So that's good, but I want to rub my lips together to see the glitter. So here is the before. Ooh. Hopefully you can see that glitter. I can definitely see the glitter. I think that I could have applied maybe more lipstick so that I would have had more of that like glitter payoff. The only thing I am noticing is it's kind of sticky. So when I'm talking, I feel like my lips are like sticking together, but I wanted to apply the gloss on top and then see what kind of longevity this has. I mean, the gloss is really pretty. It's very, you know, comfortable. I don't find it to be too sticky or anything like that. Has a nice shine to it. And now I want to test longevity. Okay, not too bad. Let's do another kiss. I mean, I do see some transfer, but it's not terrible. I don't like how sticky it felt without the gloss, but that's kind of annoying because if I don't want to wear the gloss and I feel like my lips are kind of sticking together. All right, guys, so here's my finished makeup look, trying out a bunch of new products. I do feel like we have a lot going on, but I wanted to try to demo as many things as possible. So I have to say that I absolutely love both of these products from YSL. Highly recommend both of them just because I already know that I like the formulas on these, but these colors in particular, I think are just impactful enough, and the shades just scream holiday to me. So these are some of my new favorite purchases that I've made recently. I just think they're so pretty. And then moving into the Patrick Ta. Now, I do think that these are really good quality shadows. I don't know if you already own his palettes, if you would need these, just because they are very similar. I love his formula. It is a little bit powdery and dusty, but it blends very effortlessly. I do think that I'll get the most use out of this palette because most days I would just put one of these shades in the crease and then maybe do a winged liner with this or no liner at all. So I think these are great quality. I just would have liked to see maybe a little bit more variety because they do look quite similar to the shades in his other palettes. So I think the quality is great, but again, do you really need them? I mean, you don't really need anything. It just kind of depends on what you're looking for. Now, I do think that even though these are incredibly expensive, you really would love these if you pick one of these up. I just think you have to get the shade and the texture that works for you. So I use today the one that I will use the most, which is called In Your Dreams, just because I could use this with any color palette that I have and it will just add a really beautiful bright sparkle. I do agree that with a glitter glue, you're gonna get less fallout and more intensity, but if you want more of a scattered look, then you don't necessarily need glitter glue. I would just do these before you do your face makeup. I do think that they're beautiful and they are really, really glittery. So I'm quite happy with both of the new shades that I picked up, but I don't need every single one. I feel like once you have like one or two, you really just have to choose the color that you feel like you're gonna use the most, and they really do give you that like gorgeous glittery look. As I said before, I cannot rave enough about this BabsBeauty barrier cream. It is just truly a 10 out of 10. It does not irritate, it hydrates, it soothes, and you can wear it under makeup. I mean, I feel like my complexion looks beautiful. It just kind of, I don't know, masks the face in a protective way without being greasy. Highly, highly recommend this. I am so in love with it. And I can't really say my thoughts on this foundation. I tried to tone it down as much as I could, but I still feel like there's that hue. It just isn't the right shade for me. The formula feels nice. I mean, the actual coverage was insane, full coverage. It felt lightweight. It didn't feel like it needed a ton of powder, and I do feel like the skin looks pretty perfected. So I'm gonna see how this wears throughout the day, but this color is an absolute no for me. The Dior blush, I absolutely love this. I have two of the shades. I think this is so beautiful if you like that like matte kind of whipped look. It's very blurring, and I do feel like these look so pretty on the lips as well. The only thing is they are heavily fragranced, but again, I don't taste it. It doesn't bother me. So I absolutely love those. And then in terms of the Dior blush, I feel like I'm going to have to play with this a little bit more with maybe not a jaundice foundation and see how I feel. I actually am surprised at how it translated on the skin without being glittery. It has a really pretty glow to it. But this shade in particular, I don't know if it's a little bit too light for me to use as blush. So I may use that more as like a blush topper. I may have to get that middle shade. And then the Dior palette, I am kind of mixed on. I do feel like swatching it initially, I was afraid I was going to hate every single shade, but after using it, I just feel like these two shades are more like the standard that I like with minimal glitter or no glitter. And then this shade is one of those that you're gonna have to like really buff in to see the shine, but there is glitter in this. And then this I would use probably just on the eyes. I mean, it is crazy intense, but it does have glitter and it falls all over. So not my favorite color story throughout all of the Dior palettes, but it's better than I anticipated. When I swatched it, I got a little bit nervous. And then the Dior lip product, I like the color and I feel like it feels more comfortable now, almost like when I put a little bit of that gloss on and then blotted it off. I don't think that this is going to be a bulletproof like the Chanel, as I said before, and it does have a little bit of a stick to it, so I actually prefer putting a little bit of the gloss on top, but I am quite happy with the shade. I think this is a really pretty neutral pink that I will wear. I just don't know if I feel like I need, you know, multiples. I may want one of the red ones just because they looked very, very sparkly. This one wasn't crazy glittery, but I did see it and it wasn't hard to achieve. So I'll have to keep playing around. I could have probably layered this more, but I like to have less and then sort of blend it in with my fingertip. It just is more comfortable for me. And in terms of the Nikki LaRose BK Beauty brushes, these two would be my standouts just as something that is unique to my collection, because this has that like duo fiber tip. You can really blend but also keep pigment and coverage. So I'm interested to try this with more products. And then this is very, very nice for setting and just getting right under the eye, and then even just setting and chiseling in certain areas. I could see this being like a multi-use brush. So I'm intrigued to keep trying those out, but my first impression on those was great as well. So I think that is everything for this trying new makeup. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this and enjoyed seeing some new products in action. Of course, I will come back and update with my full review after I've tried everything. I'm gonna have to do like 5 update videos because I have so much stuff that I'm trying and I need to update you guys on. So of course I will link everything that I shared today down below in my description box. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to check out MIDI if you're looking for compassionate care that is personalized to you and covered by insurance, I highly recommend booking a visit with them. So I will have a link down below, as well as the link to the supplements with my code BABS to get 35% off. So highly recommend checking that out. But all of the information will be down below in my description box. As always, thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.